Hello, everyone. Welcome back.
Oh, hello.
Welcome back to another episode of Talking with Melissa and Delci. Various
Beautiful.
dance things. Yeah, do you want to introduce the topic for the day?
Yeah, so I was thinking today what we discussed and what we agreed to speak on was that we were going to bring up some kind of the future of the dance world after COVID-19. I think is an interesting topic as well because there's a lot changing now in the dance world because of that. So that's what we're going to talk about today. The art of ballet and dance is that you have to be conditioning every day. Like, this
Every
is
day.
something that you have committed to every single day, with the exception of like you'll take Sunday off, give or take. But it's so like you lose it even with all of the like this quarantine stuff going on and dealing with these virtual classes. It's like where nobody is the same. Like, nobody right now in this state of being is like where they were before this. Like, it's impossible. We are not
Even
in
if
this.
they're doing ballet every day. Like,
No, because we're
yeah.
not in the space. We're not on the proper floor. I've not even done point.
I I think about like being in a dance studio right now with people and it makes me very nervous. Obviously right now it's not going to happen, but like in July, like I'm supposed to be in a studio with other people. Like that makes me nervous. And additionally, like dancing, like dancing in general, like I understand when people get injured, like they come back stronger, they come back better. And I think that we have like I mean, we're not obviously going to be in as good of shape, which nobody is I guess after an injury either, but like when we do get back into shape, like we will be better, we will be stronger, and we'll have so much like different like emotional contextual experience from this whole thing. Like it's just gonna be weird. Like it's I can't I really can say like I don't even know where to begin on how it's gonna be. um,
Right. So that kind of like poses, what is the dance world like after COVID? Like, how are we going to come back to ballet or dance in general like the same again? I personally don't think it will be the same because so much has already shifted onto this like virtual platform that I know people have already considered doing things with dance and technology, because that could be a whole nother new route that dance is going now,
mm,
as like a whole new innovation type thing, that I don't think we're just going to like go back to the way things were. I think too much has changed and too much has already happened that um, it's just going to be like a completely different kind of atmosphere once we are allowed to go back into a studio and be around other people. It's not going to be the same again.
yeah.
And it's kind of hard to say. Like, I don't officially know where the dance world will go. Um, but it's not going to be before COVID. That's for
Mm-mm.
sure.
Well, and you think that there's so many like layers of that, like from like political side to like the institutional side to like the financial side and the performance side and like the choreography. And I was talking to Marissa this morning about how our like certain companies were like planning on doing stuff 2021 season. Like they had already like had everything set out. Like commissions had been bought, like they had bought their rights to perform these things. And what if like in the future, like you can only do a Nutcracker and a spring show, and like especially with like I'm curious at how many new works there are going to be in like specifically ballet companies. Like I feel like contemporary companies do more original work just because of the contemporary, you know. Um, but like with ballet companies, I'm really curious how it's going to evolve. Like I'm really excited about it because I think like obviously a lot of new ideas are already coming forth, but when you do something like take away the financial stability of being able to commission like work, um, or like contemporary ballet work, or even like I don't know like how much like for example Boston Ballet like pays for their costumes, how much they own, how much they rent. Like I don't know about that side of things, but I know a lot of companies rent from other companies and like how much that's gonna happen or not in the future. And just like I just I'm like really excited to see what kind of like choreography comes out of this whole thing, and like what types of new works will be shown and what ballet companies will look like aesthetically after this.
Hmm. Yeah, no, that's a really good point. I feel like I'm also curious because while we have this time indoors and we're really confined to being home, it's like a perfect time for people to be creating.
Yeah.
So I'm like really interested to see what kinds of things people actually are coming up with like by the end of this process. But it's also so unknown because um as I was thinking earlier too, like how much are we even going to resume normalcy by fall of 2021, which is crazy because
Yeah.
the the virus is supposed to go in waves. Like there's supposed to be another wave in the summer and it's supposed to continue through 2022 is what I've been hearing a lot and what I've been reading about, and it's pretty terrifying that we could be going in and out of this whole quarantine thing for the next 2 years where we're going to have periods where we're allowed to go out, but then we're going to have to be back inside again. Like it's going to be a cycle. It's a little worrisome when you're trying to make plans, like especially for the people that are going to be graduating next year. They might come into some complications because we might not even be fully rid of this by next year.
Yeah.
Um, and it's like, are companies even going to recover in a year? Are people going to be hiring? Are they going to even
Right.
be able to keep the current people that they have? I mean, I think that's the main problem that we're going to see first is what do they even do? How are current dancers even being compensated for the situation? And then are you going to consider hiring anybody new on top of that anytime soon? I mean, it's just so hard to think that like this is all going to be kind of back to normal by next fall, which I thought at first like, oh yeah, there's no way this is going to
I know,
go
I
that.
was like maybe a month, maybe we'll go back to school in May, like
I mean, like my choice to pursue grad school, like I was going to do it anyway. It just wasn't particularly right after I
yeah.
graduate from the conservatory because I wanted to have like more time on stage. I kind of wanted to at least get into like a corps de ballet position because I've already apprenticed. So I definitely want that like next step up in my like performing career. But it's just so hard to say if that's actually going to be possible or not because of the situation. And do I want to be kind of doing that in like my 30s? I mean, I feel like I'd already need to be doing that now. I don't know if I want to go right back into it as like someone who's 30, 31. It's a little like intimidating and I just don't know. I mean, that's how I feel now. I could totally think otherwise like when it comes down to it, but I guess that's sort of a fear of mine is what if we're not even ready by next year? Like so it's a little scary because like I can wait another year because regardless I'll be doing grad school, so I'll be busy. I'll have something that I'm also pursuing at the same time. But it's like I was hoping that next year I could either do independent study with my degree or I could go back to it because I have a 7-year period of like completion. So I'm not worried about that end, but it's like I'm definitely worried about the shape of companies by next fall because nobody knows. Like people are assuming they'll be open again, but it's just hard to say like even if they are open, what kind of state are they going to be in? Like are they going to even be able to afford to put on productions or to even like hold? I mean, I feel like a lot of people are going to have to do fundraising, like
Yeah.
GoFundMe's, like there's going to be so much of that type of like
I
situation
mean,
just
people are already asking for so
like
many
people are
things.
already doing that,
Yeah.
right? So it's like in preparation because it's like that's where I think it's heading right now.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, no one knows. I mean, everybody wants to think that we'll be back. Like that'd be cool. Like that'd be great. Honestly, this is like my hot take about graduation this year. I am very grateful that I'm graduating this year as opposed to next year, as opposed to 2022, because I can't even imagine going to school for a semester and coming home, staying half the semester at school and the rest of the semester at home. I can't imagine doing that. I don't think I would be able to deal with that emotionally, mentally, being like taken from like my best friends. And honestly, it was kind of a miracle because I don't think I would have gotten through the semester if I hadn't come home. But like at the same time, like I was supposed to finish school. We were all supposed to finish school. Like we were all supposed to get our diplomas. We were all supposed to have the roast. We were all supposed to, which I'm still disappointed about, by the way. Um, and like we were supposed to have closure with our faculty and with our peers and with our families, and that's just not happening.
I know. I know. It's like this situation couldn't have been worse. I mean, it's like our semester completely got taken away from us.
This has
And
never happened before.
this has never happened.
What are your thoughts about what do you think or what do you hope people will behave like? I guess it's not just contemporary, ballet too. Like, what are your thoughts about people's interactions and demeanor with one another?
I feel like it's going to be different, like, for each individual because everybody's kind of like, yes, we are in this together, but really it's like everybody's going through this in their own way and
Right.
experiencing it somewhat differently. That I think there's going to be like a case by case thing. Like, you're just not going to know until that day comes, like how
Yeah.
you're going to feel, what your feelings are going to be like. So I think, like, nonetheless, people will be really grateful. I think this time away is obviously humbling people more, hopefully.
Yeah.
I think we're going to be way more like open and honest and humble and appreciative of stuff like that. But then I just also think it's going to take time. Like, I don't even think it's going to be fully like that even when the doors reopen. I think it's going to be another adjustment because
Yeah.
even though that's like the life we're used to living, we've like, who knows how long this is going to go on for. That the second we're allowed to like resume normal activity, people might be hesitant, people might not be super thrilled, or like it's just going to take time to slowly kind of like rebuild our society back up in a world where we're like used to interacting and dealing with people every day on like a face
Yeah.
to basis. That some people might still really utilize like all this virtual like platforms too, like teachers, people still might be holding things online. Like, I was thinking too, what if one day like somebody couldn't come into work or something and then they decided to do like a Zoom thing so you wouldn't fully miss out on like a day of school or something. So I still think no matter what, we're going to have use of the online platform. I think it'll just be different, and I think projects will kind of come out from all of this too. Like, there will be more technology based work.
I think that whatever happens, it's going to take a long time to. I'm going to say this. I think I kind of want it to take some time. If people were like, okay, let's just get back to business. Like, and I think that's one of my biggest worries about the ballet world, to be perfectly honest with you. I know they all get it and I know they all understand what is happening, but I'm curious as to what extent they will be like business is business and they are working to do the work that they were doing before. And I mean, obviously that's not to say that they can't work hard. Um I don't know. I feel like for me, I would need a limbo period during which I would do like classes with my teachers and try to get back into things, but not like hurt myself. And I'm not a big change person. I don't like change. And I think that doing something like getting back into a studio with 30 people, for me, it's not worth it.
Yeah, no, I don't want to deal with that. That's
Well,
not worth it for me either. That's too stressful. Like, if I'm going to go to an intensive, it's because I want to enjoy it and I want to be around other people. Don't try to like force the situation. Like, I feel like people are
right.
trying so hard to force us to go back to reality. It's just going to backfire because we're not ready to, first of all. And second, it's just going to make people more stressed and more vulnerable to like
Yeah.
getting sick and whatnot. That it's like, I think people are expecting too much too soon.
I I dance because it's fun, not because I have to, and because I enjoy working hard. I love work a lot. I also love having a break from work because
Yeah,
I never
same.
get a break from work. Um,
Never.
Like I
Never.
really like I think I like this thing more than most people. I don't love it, obviously. Like I can't stand Zoom. I'm over it. But I like
Yeah, I
do
really
things on
need
my
to do the
time.
same. Yeah.
Yeah. Like I find great value in having a schedule and having like you go to dance at this time to this time. Like that's amazing. I it works for me. I love it. But also having the ability to create my own schedule and be like, okay, I'll take Gaga at 11 today and I'll take Gaga at 8 today. Like I've been doing that and I've been putting a variety. I've been working out at 9 at night. I've never done that before.
I know.
Now
When
that I
this
know that I can, I like can never make myself excuses, which sucks, but it's okay.
I know. We like when this first started, I was doing yoga at like 10 o'clock at night, which I was like, I would never in a million years do that. Like, what compelled me to even think like I was gonna start doing that?
I have
Beats
so
me.
much energy at night now. I've been staying up later, and okay, late for me is like not even 11. It's about 11 o'clock. So yeah, okay. I'm gonna check my countdown and see how much time we have left until the last day of school. I'm doing this. 7 days left, 1 hour and 50 minutes left until graduation. Sorry, until the last day of school. And
Oh,
then
close.
14 days, 8 hours, and 4 minutes until graduation. All right. I
Any
really, really want
windies?
to talk more, and I feel like we have so much more we need to talk about.
I know. That's okay. We will be back.
We will be back next week. I'm very excited. I am going to go take my class. I
Soon.
love you very much.
Love you too. Thank you for chatting today and for everybody listening.
Of course. Yes. Thank you, everybody. Bye.
Bye.